Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can you see my screen, Mataji?
Yes, Babaji.
Yes, Babaji.
Okay, wonderful. So we'll briefly revise what we learned about Srila Prabhupada from Prabhupada lilamrita, and then we will continue our journey of learning about the life of Srila Prabhupada. So as we learned in the previous chapters, chapter number 12 of Srila Prabhupada lilamrita, Prabhupada ji traveled from India from Calcutta to America on a boat, and the boat was Jaladuta. The ticket was sponsored by Scindia Shipping Company, Mrs. Morarji. He gave a complimentary ticket, and Srila Prabhupada started his journey on August 13th, 1965, and it took almost 35 days for Srila Prabhupada to travel from India to America, and at the age of 69 years old, like 70 years old man. And on the boat, he got serious seasickness. He was vomiting, almost got heart attack. But somehow or other, Krishna saved Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada, then after 35 days of journey from Calcutta, the boat Jaladuta reached to the Boston's Commonwealth Harbor, Pier Harbor, on September 17th, 1965. Now, when Prabhupada reached Boston, then he didn't know anybody either in Boston. And from there, he traveled to, by the boat. The next destination of the boat was New York, right? So then from there, after doing the immigration and everything, then Prabhupada's Jaladuta boat, then it reached to New York. And then when he landed in New York, he did not know whether to turn left or right because he had no idea where he has landed, right? So Prabhupada writes that although I little about what to do as he walked off the ship onto the pier, I did not know whether to turn left or right. But then Mr. Agarwal, who was the sponsor of Srila Prabhupada for his visa, with the help of Travelers Aid Services, he booked his travel from New York to Butler, Pennsylvania. That was the first testing ground where Srila Prabhupada met quite a few people, American people, and tried to learn about American lifestyle. When Srila Prabhupada traveled from New York to Butler, it was by the bus, and on the bus he saw the things which were unusual, like all the billboards and behavior of the people, which was Prabhupada ji never thought about it, and Prabhupada ji had a mood of compassion for those people. When Srila Prabhupada reached Butler, Pennsylvania, Mr. Agarwal came to receive him at the bus terminal, and from there he drove him to his home. Butler, Pennsylvania. It was a small town, and in this small town, the Jeep was invented. It's a town of Jeep, or home of the Jeep. And at his home, Mr. Agarwal's home, Srila Prabhupada stayed for for some time. And while Agarwals were from middle class family, they were not comfortable. Like how would their social circle feel about it? So then they arranged his accommodation to the nearby YMCA guest house. So Prabhupada ji every day used to walk from YMCA or to Mr. Agarwal's home, And at Mr. Agarwal's home, Srila Prabhupada used to cook actually. So all the cooking, so he would start walking in the morning about 7 a.m. He would arrive to Mr. Agarwal's home. It was about 6 to 7 blocks. Then he cooked the breakfast. He cooked not only for himself, but for Agarwal family also. And everybody used to have the breakfast. Then Prabhupada used to be having his prasadam, and by 11:30, 12 o'clock, then he walked back to YMCA, and then he used to write the books, writing the Srimad Bhagavatam, meet the people. That routine was continuous. Mrs. Agarwal thought of introducing him to the community by giving an advertisement in the newspaper. So there was a newspaper there where she gave an advertisement. And the advertisement was read as ambassador of Bhakti Yoga. And the interviewer took the biodata and published it in the newspaper. And this was the picture. What you see on the screen is the picture of Srila Prabhupada, which was having Srimad Bhagavatam in his hand, his first volume, first canto, and the picture was published in the newspaper. And the advertisement read it as ambassador of Bhakti Yoga, and he is staying in Butler, Pennsylvania, and can meet the people can come and meet him like that. And the Swamiji's interview was also published in the newspaper, right? And so Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, his mission and his vision was published in the interview, right? So Srila Prabhupada wanted to spread the message of Krishna consciousness. So at Agarwal's place, Srila Prabhupada met quite a few guests also, all the time. And Mrs. Agarwal also, she considered Srila Prabhupada as father figure. And Prabhupada was very jolly, very happy person. And he used to play with the children of child of Mr. Agarwal. So Mrs. Agarwal was connected with Srila Prabhupada. And Agarwals were meat eaters, while Srila Prabhupada is a sannyasi, he is a pure vegetarian. One time when Srila Prabhupada came to Agarwal's home in the evening, a little early, Mrs. Agarwal, Sally Agarwal, was cooking meat, and Prabhupada came. So Sally became really uncomfortable because she thought that how would sannyasi like Srila Prabhupada will feel about the meat, right? So then Sally Agarwal was apologizing that she made a mistake. Then Srila Prabhupada said that Prabhupada was very compassionate. So he says, think nothing of it, think nothing of it. So he assured her, Mrs. Agarwal, that don't worry, I will accommodate. So Prabhupada was very accommodating. He was very compassionate as well, and he was kind to everybody. But now Prabhupada has spent almost 1 month, and then after 1 month, he thought that there is no point in staying here for longer. He has to move on to some other place where he can spread more Krishna consciousness. So he decided to go to New York, and from Butler to New York. And Mr. Gopal Agarwal arranged his bus ticket, and Prabhupada ji then traveled from, on October 18th, he left to Butler and via Philadelphia for the New York City. Now, Prabhupada ji has the visa only for 2 months, you remember? So he came on September 17th, and now it's October 18th. So 1 month he is in Butler. After 1 month, then he decides to leave for New York because he knew somebody in New York, Mr. Mishra. So he said, okay, I'll go and meet him. And he had talked with him over the phone also. And Prabhupada's visa is expiring on November 30th, I think, 27th or 30th, like that. So Prabhupada has only 1 month left now more to stay in America, right? So he is traveling now from Butler to New York via Philadelphia. So that's where he gave one lecture, also presentation there. And now Prabhupada ji is coming to New York. So this is the next part of the Prabhupada's journey. So this chapter number 14 is titled as Struggling Alone. So Prabhupada ji comes to America, comes to New York, and his lonely travel is mentioned here in this chapter. It's a very interesting chapter, very nice chapter. So we will begin our today's learning from Prabhupada lilamrita. So this is the first paragraph of Prabhupada lilamrita, 14 number chapter. Uh, Here Prabhupada ji writes here about his experience in New York at Dr. Ramamurthy Mishra's studio. Uh, so Prabhupada ji writes here, Venkata Prabhu, can you read it? Is it possible?
Yes, Prabhu. Can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yeah, I can hear you, yes.
Yes. I used to sit in the back and listen to his meeting silently. He was speaking all impersonal nonsense, and I kept my silence. Then one day he asked if I would like to speak, and I spoke about Krishna consciousness. I challenged that he was speaking manufactured philosophy and all nonsense from Shankaracharya. He tried to back out and said he was not speaking. Shankaracharya was speaking. I said, you are representing him. That is the same thing. He then said to me, Swamiji, very much, I like you very much, but you cannot speak here. But although our philosophy is two words, however, it was not let me speak. He was Spanish and I was
Very nice, thank you. So this chapter begins with his experience in New York, where he was a guest of Dr. Ramamurthy Mishra. And Prabhupada, more we will learn about this incidents, where Mr. Mishra never allowed Srila Prabhupada to give class because Prabhupada was talking about Krishna consciousness, while this Mr. Mishra, who was Dr. Mishra, who was a yoga teacher, he was talking the impersonal philosophy. So we'll learn more about it. So now Prabhupada ji arrived by bus, and he was received at the New York City bus terminal by Dr. Mishra's uh, Dr. Mishra and one of his student. They received him. So after arriving here in New York, this is one of the photograph of Dr. Ramamurthy Mishra. Uh, so uh, from the bus terminal, a student of Dr. Ramamurthy Mishra took him directly to an Indian festival in New York City at that time was going on. So Prabhupada ji from the bus terminal came to the one of the festivals in New York. Well, it was Prabhupada ji noticed quite a few things. He was learning all the time when he was meeting people and attending the events. And what Prabhupada ji encountered at that time was that in this festival, there were great musicians from India. They were invited. And like a musician, Ravi Shankar was there, Uday Shankar, a dancer, was there. And Srila Prabhupada met quite a few people and learned that people were interested in knowing more about Indian art and music and like that. So Prabhupada ji was learning about Indian American people. And this Dr. Ramamurthy Mishra, he was staying in New York in an apartment building. So he was staying near Hudson River. So apartment building was a high rise, and he was staying on like 14th floor. So in his apartment, he had a room, spare room. So he gave that one room to Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada was staying in his own room at Dr. Ramamurthy Mishra's house. So now this Dr. Mishra, he was a medical doctor, and he was also teaching yoga also at the same time and giving lectures. But his lectures were more of an impersonalist or Shankara philosophy. So he slowly gave up his practice also and started more like collecting the disciples. He was often like he was like a Indian guy with American behavior, like his accent and his language and everything was like American, you know. And he presented himself as a guru with some polished version of guru, So he was like wearing the jacket, Nehru type of jacket, and he was a Sanskrit scholar actually, and he was teaching Sanskrit language. He was teaching yoga. He wrote some books also on the basis of his monistic philosophy of Shankara. And initially, he kept he allowed Srila Prabhupada to stay at his home, but then he was not comfortable with Srila Prabhupada staying there. So then he moved Srila Prabhupada to one of his yoga studio rooms. He was at age 44 years old when Srila Prabhupada arrived, and Prabhupada was almost 70 years old, so almost father figure to Mr. Mishra. Dr. Mishra had a health problem. His health was not good. So every day Prabhupada used to cook for Dr. Mishra. You see, wherever Prabhupada goes, he is cooking for them, right? And he's helping them. So here, Dr. Ramamurti Mishra writes about Prabhupada's cooking and how Prabhupada ji helped him. So Mamta Mataji, you want to read, please?
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
No, yeah, I don't see the screen. I see Dr. Prashant's image.
Oh, you don't see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see now?
Yes, now I can see it. In Ramamurti Mishra, the holy Prabhupada, Bhaktivedanta Goswami, really knocked me down with love. He was really an incarnation of love. My body had become a skeleton, and he really brought me back to life. His cooking and practicing his love and his devotion to Lord Krishna. I was very lazy in matter of cooking, but he could get up and have ready.
Oh, thank you, Mother. Thank you. So here, Dr. Ramamurti Mishra was not well actually, and Prabhupada ji was cooking for him every day. And with his cooking, this Ramamurti Mishra was not good at cooking, and he was lazy also. But Prabhupada used to cook for him and for a few more people also, and he used to feed them. So Ramamurti Mishra, he revived his health after Prabhupada cooking for him like that. So Ramamurti Mishra further writes, Venkata Prabhu, can you read?
Ramurthy Mishra. It was not bread he gave me. He gave me prasadam. This was life, and he saved my life. At that time, I was not sure I would live, but he's happy to eat on time. Whether I was hungry or not, that I was very much like he had to get up and I have to eat. All right, this is a Bhagavad prasadam, and I would say, all right.
Aha, thank you, Prabhuji. So you can see that Prabhupada ji was so kind and loving, and as we learned at Agarwal's home also, he was cooking for the Agarwal family. And now here at Dr. Ramamurti Mishra's place, he's cooking for Ramamurti Mishra. So Prabhupada ji is self-dependent. Wherever he went, he never ate the food which was cooked by somebody else. He always made sure that he could cook by himself. And that is sannyasi's behavior. A sannyasi will never eat the food which is cooked by somebody else. That was a really, really remarkable thing we can learn from Srila Prabhupada's behavior. One of the students of Dr. Ramamurti Mishra mentions about Srila Prabhupada's experience, how the students, as I said, that Dr. Ramamurti Mishra allowed Srila Prabhupada to stay at his home for some time, and then he relocated him to his one of the yoga studios, where one room he was staying there. It had no windows actually, so it was like a dark room, and Prabhupada used to stay there, and he used to also meet. Sometimes he was invited to give kirtan, to sing at Dr. Ramamurti's yoga classes. So at that time he used to He used to meet the students also. One of the student, Joan Suwal, uh, she mentions about Srila Prabhupada here, and she says that Sujata Mataji, you want to read?
Hmm. Yes. Joan Suwal. Swamiji was very sweet. I myself remember him as a very good man. Even in the practical details of living in New York, which seemed to involve him very much, because he was a practical man and was looking for the best place to begin his work. I remember very well that he was always careful about washing his clothes out his class out every night. I would come in and find a group of students in the living area of Dr. Mishra's apartment. And in the bathroom would be hung Swamiji's orange robes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, so here we can see that this Mrs. So student Joan Suwal, she's mentioning her experience with Srila Prabhupada, and she's saying that she found him very loving, very kind person. Srila Prabhupada used to be staying at Mr. Mishra's place, and one time at yoga studio of Dr. Mishra, he was talking about Mayavadi philosophy. So Prabhupada ji challenged him. Prabhupada ji said, if each of us is actually the Supreme, then why is this Supreme suffering and struggling in the material world? So this Dr. Mishra was a Mayavadi, and he was talking that, we all are God, So there is no need to worship Krishna because everybody of us is God. So then Srila Prabhupada used to challenge him and saying, if everybody of us is God, then why are we suffering and struggling? So then Dr. Mishra would counter that Supreme is only temporarily covered by illusion, and that through Hatha Yoga and meditation, one can become enlightened understanding. So the Dr. Mishra was complete Mayavadi. So he's thinking we all are God, we have become a God, but only temporary we have got this Maya covering. And through Hatha Yoga, you can overcome it. And then you become a God through Hatha Yoga. So Prabhupada challenged him and saying that if the Supreme could be covered by illusion, then the illusion will be greater than God, greater than Supreme. So this is how Srila Prabhupada challenged this Mayavadi Mishra, Dr. Mishra. And but then Prabhupada ji used to argue with them. But again, they were also good friends, also kind to each other also. So when Srila Prabhupada used to challenge Dr. Mishra, and Dr. Mishra put a restriction that Prabhupada cannot give classes in his yoga studio. So even though he was staying in a yoga studio, he was never allowed to give a talk. So that's where the first paragraph we read about the Srila Prabhupada's experience there. So, a mendicant, Prabhupada was temporarily dependent on the goodwill of his Mayavadi acquaintance, with whom he regularly ate and conversed, and from whom he accepted the shelter. But what a great inconvenience it was! He had come to America to speak purely and boldly about Krishna, but now he was restricted because Ramamurti Mishra didn't allow Srila Prabhupada to speak in his class. In Butler, he had been confined by the host's middle class sensibilities. Now he was silenced in a different way. He was treated with kindness, but he was considered a threat. Dr. Mishra could not allow his students to hear exclusive praise of Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this Dr. Mishra was complete Mayavadi, and he stopped Srila Prabhupada from saying anything about Krishna. Srila Prabhupada went to the ashram of this Dr. Ramamurti Mishra. And this Dr. Mishra, he was impersonalist, but he had built a big ashram, big property he had his own. So Prabhupada went to his ashram to check out. And here is one of the video I found where Srila Prabhupada spent time with Dr. Mishra. I don't know whether the video will play or not. I'm not sure whether you can see the video playing. Can you see the video playing in your screen, Mataji?
We just see the picture, Prabhu.
No, it's not playing. That means that. But anyway, I will send you the link of the video in the chat box later on. So there is a video actually where you can see Dr. Mishra and Srila Prabhupada interacting in the yoga studio. So at Mr. Ramamurthy Mishra's place also, Srila Prabhupada used to cook. In his yoga studio also he used to cook. And his ashram also used to cook by himself. Everywhere Srila Prabhupada did cooking. So one of the student, Robert Nilsson, he was Prabhupada's first young sympathizers in New York. He writes about Srila Prabhupada. Venkata Prabhu, you want to read?
Robert Nelson, one of Prabhupada's first gangs in previous year. I went to Dr. Mishra's place and Dr. Mishra talked. Swamiji was sitting on a bench. And then all of a sudden Dr. Mishra stops the service and he gets a big smile and says, Swamiji, we'll sing as a song. I think Dr. Krishna wouldn't let him speak. Somebody told me that I didn't want him to preach.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So here we can see that Dr. Mishra would allow Srila Prabhupada to sing the bhajan and kirtan, but he never allowed him to speak about Krishna. So that is what he was like restricting Srila Prabhupada. Every day, morning for several hours before the sunrise, Prabhupada used to get up, he used to take a bath, chant Hare Krishna mantra, translating the books, and he used to walk around the New York City from Mr. Mishra's yoga studio. He used to go around for a walk, and he used to also cook for himself and for others. So in this way, Srila Prabhupada was learning about New York City, and he was learning about the people and the lifestyle in the New York while staying at Dr. Mishra's place. Dr. Ramamurthy Mishra, he says about Srila Prabhupada, I have never seen or met any devotee who sang so much, and his kirtan was just ambrosial. If you pay attention and become relaxed, that voice has very electrical vibrations on your heart. You cannot avoid it. 99% of the students, whether they liked it or not, got up and danced and chanted. And I felt blessed to meet such a great soul. So here, Dr. Mishra, who was restricting Srila Prabhupada, but he really enjoyed the devotional voice of Srila Prabhupada. And he used to enjoy the kirtan and used to allow Srila Prabhupada to do long kirtan. And Srila Prabhupada's kirtan, after hearing, people used to dance. So Prabhupada had this very nice singing skills. Prabhupada requested Dr. Mishra, can you help him in spreading the Lord Chaitanya's Mishra movement? Because Srila Prabhupada told him, your last name is Mishra, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's father's name is also Jagannath Mishra. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's last name was also Mishra. So Srila Prabhupada said, you are from the Mishra family, can you help to spread message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Like that, Prabhupada used to find some common connection. So, but Dr. Mishra said, no, I cannot help you. He never responded positively to Srila Prabhupada. He was good at Sanskrit. This Dr. Mishra was a scholar of Sanskrit. So Srila Prabhupada said, can you help me in my translation of the book or correcting the grammar? So Dr. Mishra also refused to help Srila Prabhupada like that. But then later on, when Srila Prabhupada grew the movement to such a big scale, Dr. Mishra lamented. He said he should have helped Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada's cooking was famous even in the ashram, Ananda ashram, which was owned by Dr. Mishra. Devotees used to, all the students used to appreciate the Srila Prabhupada's cooking. And this is one student at the Ananda ashram of Dr. Mishra. She says about Srila Prabhupada. She says here, my direct encounter with him was in a kitchen. He was very particular and very definite that he would only eat what he cooked himself. He would come and say, "Get me a pot." So when I brought him a pot, he would say, "No, bigger pot." And when I brought a bigger pot, he would say, "No, the smaller one," like that. And then he would say, "Get me some potato." So I'll bring him a potato. He prepared the food very, very quickly. So Prabhupada had, whereas he was expert at cooking actually, very quickly he used to prepare and quietly. He never spoke very much. He prepared potatoes and then some vegetables and then chapatis. After cooking, he would eat outside. He would usually cook enough to go around for Dr. Mishra and about 5 to 6 people. Every day, he would cook that much when he was there. I learned to make chapatis from him. He usually stayed only for weekends and then went back to the city. I think he felt that there was main work was to be done in the city. So Prabhupada ji stayed at Mr. Mishra's, Dr. Mishra's ashram for just a couple of days on the weekend. And there also he did seva, helped them cooking and helped them prasadam. And he was also translating Shrimad Bhagavatam. He never stopped Shrimad Bhagavatam work while he was here in the New York, and he was also writing letters to all the people to help him out. So he and he continued his walk in the Manhattan, America, exploring the life of people. Srila Prabhupada met quite a few yoga students, and he told them that, "Oh, you all should learn the real yoga." So he said, Srila Prabhupada says, "So far I have studied, the American people are very much eager to learn about Indian way of spiritual realization. And there are so many so-called yoga ashrams in America. Unfortunately, they are not very much adored by the government. And it is learned that such yoga ashrams have exploited the innocent people, as has been the case in India also. The only hope is that uh, they are spiritually inclined and immense benefit can be done to them if the cult of Srimad Bhagavatam is preached here." So Prabhupada ji felt like people were inclined for spirituality, but American so-called yogis or gurus, they were exploiting the people. So Prabhupada ji was feeling compassionate for them. Prabhupada ji wrote this that I went to see the dance with a friend. Although for the last 40 years I have never attended such a dance ceremonies, the dancer was successful in demonstration. The music was Indian classical tune, mostly in Sanskrit language, and American people appreciated them. So I was encouraged to see the favorable circumstances about my future preaching work. So Prabhupada ji was trying to gauge the people of interest of the people by attending various cultural events also. But then Prabhupada ji was all alone. He thought that, these Mayavadi sannyasis are able to build the ashram here. Why can't we build a temple for Krishna? He was always feeling. So he was writing to people whom in India that, "Can you please help me?" So one of his god brother, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he became the president of Gaudiya Math. And Srila Prabhupada wrote him a letter explaining him that I've come here in America to spread the message of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who had a strong desire to spread to the Western world. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur sent several sannyasis, but they didn't get success. So Prabhupada ji writes to his god brother, Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. He says here, Mamta Mata ji, if you can read this.
Yes, Prabhuji. Alone. I have come to this country with the same purpose in view, and as far as I can see, here in America, there is a very good scope for teaching the cult of Lord Chaitanya. I am here and see a good field of work, but I am alone without man and money. To start a center here, we must have our own business.
Thank you, Mataji. So Prabhupada ji writes to his god brother that I am here in America want to spread the message of Krishna consciousness, spread the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and a message of his Guru, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But he's alone. I have no money, I have no manpower. We must start a center here. There is a huge potential. We can have our own building here. Can you please help me? But unfortunately, nobody helped me at that time. So Srila Prabhupada says, if you agree to cooperate with me, he writes to Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj, as I have suggested above, then I shall extend my visa period. My present visa period ends by the end of November. But if I receive your confirmation immediately, I shall extend my visa period. Otherwise, I shall return to India. So he's asking Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj that can you please help me send some money? We can build a ashram here. We can have a nice temple. He saw that a lot of Mayavadi people having their own ashram properties. Even Prabhupada ji actually he looked at some of the buildings and he put an offer there. He's saying that this building is like such and such a big building. It has costing 100,000, and if you put 20,000 down, we can have this building. But then Gaudiya Math people, they did not cooperate with him, and they did not even help him out. So Srila Prabhupada, the Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj politely refused that they don't have enough money to spend it to America for such preaching work. So Prabhupada ji then wrote back to the Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. He was saying that it is not very encouraging your reply, because Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj did not help Srila Prabhupada. But he said that I am not a man to be disappointed. This is a very important thing. He said that he described himself as I am not the man to be disappointed. So Prabhupada never got discouraged actually. Even after multiple failures, he was always kept on doing the things, never got disappointed. Sometimes in our life, if we are not successful, then we get disappointed. We give up the things. But Prabhupada ji was a pure devotee. He came here for genuine purpose, for genuine spreading Krishna consciousness. So he had made his plan that he will spread Krishna consciousness. So he was not discouraged, not disappointed. He wrote even letter to Mrs. Morarji, who gave him a ticket. She says he wrote to Mrs. Morarji. Venkata Prabhu, you want to read? Prabhuji, your sound is not clear. Somehow something is not.
Can you hear me?
This is much better.
Yeah, I can read. I will then start again. To Mr. Smaraji, I am just giving you idea, and if you kindly think over the matter seriously and consult your beloved Lord Balakrishna, surely you will be further enlightened in the matter. There is a scope and there is a certainly necessity also, and it is the duty of every Indian, especially the devotees of Lord Krishna, to take up the shelter.
Further, Prabhuji, continue. There is a next 1 second. Here.
They should have association of a bona fide devotees of the Lord. They should join the Kirtan glorifying the Lord. They should hear the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam. They should have intimate touch with the temple or place of the Lord. And they should be given ample chance to worship the Lord in the temple. Under the guidance of the bona fide devotee, they can be given such facilities. And the way of the Srimad Bhagavatam is open to everyone.
Go ahead, Guru. Last one.
Okay, sure. My team to stay in America will be finished by 17th of November 1965. Sorry, my term. My term to stay in America will be finished by the 17th of November 1965. But I am believing in your foretelling. You should stay there until you fully recover your health. and return after you have completed your mission.
Thank you, Prabhu. So
Right.
here, Prabhupada writing for help to Mrs. Morarji, because Morarji was a devotee of Lord Krishna. She was from Vallabhacharya Sampradaya. So Srila Prabhupada wrote to her that, can you please help me to establish a temple here in New York? Uh, but then there was no reply from Mrs. Morarji. Earlier, Mrs. Morarji, while Srila Prabhupada was in Butler, she replied to one of his letters saying that, oh, your health is not good, so you stay until your health recovers. But now Srila Prabhupada is not getting help. Prabhupada is struggling alone. There's nobody to help out Srila Prabhupada at this time. While Srila Prabhupada was in America, in New York, sorry, at that time he gave a lecture actually, and this was what the lecture advertisement. It was Tagore Society of New York, and they arranged a lecture for Srila Prabhupada. And this is how the invitation read. The invitation says Tagore Society of New York cordially invites to a lecture on God consciousness by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada on Sunday, November 28, 1965. Lecture time 3:30 p.m. followed by the tea, and it was New India House on 3 East 64th Street. And it said that a widely respected scholar and religious leader in India, Swami Bhaktivedanta, is briefly visiting New York. He has been engaged in monumental endeavors of translating 60 volumes of Srimad Bhagavatam from Sanskrit into English. So, this way, Prabhupada's lecture was organized by Tagore Society. And there he met a few people. One of them was a musician, his name was Harun, who attended this, and he had an encounter in meeting with Srila Prabhupada. And Mr. Harun says that he sat next to Srila Prabhupada uh, without knowing that he is the one who is going to give a lecture. And then he observed that Srila Prabhupada was chanting while all the audience were joining. And then, as uh, the the speaker on the stage invited Srila Prabhupada to give a lecture, then Prabhupada asked Mr. Harun to look after his books. Prabhupada got the books there, Srimad Bhagavatam volume sets. He said, Mr. Harun, can you watch over these books so that he will go on the stage and give a lecture there? So Mr. Harun was sitting in the audience, Prabhupada sitting next to him, and then Mr. Harun is a stranger. Prabhupada asking him to look after the books, and Prabhupada goes on the stage and spoke about God consciousness and importance of remembering Krishna. uh, and then he chanted the Hare Krishna Mahamantra also. He introduced the Srimad Bhagavatam and its importance and significance. And after the lecture, then this Mr. Harun, he purchased a set of Srimad Bhagavatam from Srila Prabhupada. And then he also helped Srila Prabhupada to move all the books and everything back to his studio, right? So in this way, Srila Prabhupada also, like wherever he went, he took the books with him to connect with the people. So now Srila Prabhupada is in New York. He's still at Dr. Mishra's ashram, not ashram, his yoga studio. He's restricted from speaking, so he's not able to preach, for which he has come, but he is somehow or other trying to find the venues for giving lectures on Krishna consciousness. He's also requesting help from his god brothers. Nobody helped him. He asked help from like Mrs. Murarji. Nobody replied from there. So Prabhupada is struggling alone in New York City, and uh, and now Srila Prabhupada, his visa is also expiring soon. So we'll learn more about Srila Prabhupada and his struggles in the coming few days. So we'll pause here for today's session. Maybe Venkata Prabhu, Mamta Mataji, Sujata Mataji, you can share your realizations from today's learning about Srila Prabhupada. You want to share your realization, Venkata Prabhu?
It was very like we don't see Prabhupada achieved so much, but we see what he achieved. But actual struggles, what he went through, is nobody like seen. It's very like hard struggle surviving in New York. No one, he don't know anyone, and Dr. Mishra like is staying with Mayawati,
Ah,
like right. So and also he is very patient, with him. Usually, we hear from the Prabhu's lectures, like don't associate with Mayawati, but Prabhupada had no option also, right?
yes.
So this struggle is very we actually we need to actually see, like we need to learn how to be patient
Ah,
from that, right? So
correct, correct.
he has 1 month, he has to cook for himself, and but he's encouraging Mishra's topics also, right? Sometimes
Hmm,
because they had to cooperate with each other and go along with it.
correct. Yeah, yeah. Very
Yeah.
nice realization. I really liked it. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Sujata Mata, do you want to say something? Oh, she's busy.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Mataji, Dandavat.
Hmm. No, Prabhuji, yes. Uh, Srila Prabhupada traveled 35 days with 2 months visa. That's really like we can understand. We can understand how faith he had on Krishna. Like he really he completely surrendered and he took a step to go to USA with 2 months visa.
Hmm.
Yes,
Unbelievable.
that too he traveled 35 days with 2 months visa. How can he trust Krishna that his visa will be extended?
Wonderful. Yes, yes, yes. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Amazing, right? It's a one
Yes. Yes.
outstanding. Mumta Mataji, you want to say something?
Yes. Yes, I learned that like now we are reading in that Gita, every moment, every case is a true Vaishnava, like is a true Brahman. All those qualities,
Your sound is Mataji, your sound is breaking. I don't know why. Your sound is breaking. We can't hear you.
Is it better now?
A little better. Yeah. Try.
Yes. Can you hear me now properly?
Now he's better. Yes, yes. I can hear you now.
Yes. So I'm saying that from the day one, Prabhupada has so Brahmana quality, all these 26 qualities which Brahmana have, you
Again,
know.
again, it's breaking now, Mataji. Yes, sound.
Every time, every moment. It can be a habit every time. We can become 10 minutes of sober, so like sometime in passion,